Yo! Video games.
Stage.
Why did I get that stage already?
With enough rings out of 50 in the end, with 50 rings in the end? Oh.
I'm the best. Oh,
there's
short.
There's 3 levels in the old one.
Yep. Ding.
Mario's not this fast. Jeez, chat, I think the winner is decided. And to be honest, if there's the one thing that Sonic had that made him better in the 1990s that Mario did not have, Mario did not have an ounce of attitude. Sonic was all attitude and chili dogs. So he's better. Penny!
What?
Metal AFK, thank you.
Oh, wait.
Sonic had Urkel and Michael Jackson. Mario didn't have.
Post spin?
You don't. There's no spin in this one.
You can spin.
You have to run and then press down.
Come on.
Come on, man.
Aha! My member berries.
No, I told you how to do that.
You didn't tell me. Ah! You're gonna get me. Ow.
Ah! There's one big nut. Ah!
Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Look at that.
Oh, I forgot to show the thing that makes Sonic way better than Mario.
Oh. Him doing that?
Yep. That's the one thing.
The attitude. I already knew
attitude.
what you were thinking.
Attitude.
Yeah. And then this is where the game gets not so good. And then the game, it's a banger though. But then here's where the game slows to a crawl.
Look at this guy. Sonic had attitude and he was fast. Hence he's the best. What did Sonic have? I'm sorry, what did Mario have? He looked like Ron Jeremy. Look how far that got him.
Of course.
Dang. I do not remember these sound effects, chat.
The blast processing. Oh, there was a secret over there.
What are these sounds, bro? These are not in the OG game.
No, because remember someone said that it didn't have the OG sounds?
Yeah, I mean, it does it, but it has like completely new sounds and...
Yeah.
I mean, granted, it's a Saturn version. I didn't realize that they gave it more sound effects.
What do you know about these sound effects? You were playing Killer Instinct.
Not at this time. Remember, Genesis was out for a hell of a long time before the SNES.
Yeah, okay.
Remember going fast?
Not
Sure
anymore.
you do.
Not anymore. Hey, remember when you're fast? Not no more. Oh, oh, oh! Ouch.
Ow, my face. Don't die to death spikes.
Ow. Dang, I just died.
Cyber Ghost, thank you. This music is a banger, though.
When you die outside the game, you die for real life.
I mean, and without memeing, it is almost unfair because this is like the first attempt that Sonic gets, and where is Mario at this point? Technically, like, how many games in?
3?
Yeah, 4 because of Mario World.
Yeah, but I think this was before Mario World. Well, in America.
I guess in America, yeah.
Like, cause
Mario at this point was still Mario 3.
Yes, because there was no Super Nintendo in America.
So, you know what? There's the reason, dude. Like, Mario 3, and then you see this, it's like, holy crap, dude. Mario looks like dirt butt trash. And that's the way I felt.
Yeah.
That was why I wanted a Genesis, dude. It worked on me. It got me.
Yeah. I couldn't afford it. You know, that family, I just looked at it.
But you had a Super Nintendo.
Yeah, then like
Super Nintendo was way more expensive.
Yeah, but like I think I was because it came out much later. It came out, my parents just couldn't at the time. But by the time Super Nintendo came out, I had some money saved.
Yeah, that's the thing. Sega Genesis was cheap. Like Sega was always that way outside of the Saturn. Their consoles were not expensive. Granted, I'm not talking about Sega CD and like 32X. But if you wanted a Genesis or if you wanted like a Dreamcast, yeah, they were the cheapest consoles on the market for what they could do. And that was where did that come from? That was all Sega of America trying to compete, knowing that we have to compete somehow. We can't just charge people more for this. It was the same for the Dreamcast. It was the same for the Genesis. Oh God. Yeah, the Saturn, the CD, 32X, all that stuff was Sega struggling. Making a lot of bad decisions.
Song. One ring.
Yeah, I think nowadays with retrospect, Nintendo obviously has been around longer, so people hold their games in more reverence, just in general. But, dude, Sega and the Genesis were actually killing it in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
For a little while, they were doing better than Nintendo.
Oh, yeah.
And it took some time before the SNES really found its legs. In America, especially. Well, in America and like the UK, right? Which were the biggest markets. But then there was just a lot of really bad decisions by Sega after that, which got them to the Saturn, and then eventually the Dreamcast. And even though the Saturn did very well in Japan, it didn't do well elsewhere.
I think Sonic was always first. I mean, like, Sega was always first. Like, and then people would just take their technology, take what they did.
I don't remember the Super Nintendo getting really, really big until, honestly, like Donkey Kong Country. And I think that was like 94?
Yeah, and that was almost the time PlayStation was already started.
It was getting there, but PlayStation wasn't big at the start either, dude. Like, to be real.
No.
At the start of PlayStation, it wasn't that big. After like a year, it was huge. Chad, when was the moment the SNES really started popping off? I'm trying to think. I think it was like 93, 94. Street Fighter 2, thank you.
Yeah, Street Fighter 2.
100%. It's Street Fighter 2. Yeah. Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat 2, those games. To be honest, I think Street Fighter 2 is probably the game that began that. I was thinking it was like Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong was just cementing the fact that the Super Nintendo was godlike, but yeah, to be crazy enough, like, it probably was fighting games that had a really big impact. Super Metroid was 94. The crazy thing is that Super Metroid later on now is like massive, but unfortunately wasn't big back in the day. Didn't even Metroid Dread recently outsell Super Metroid? Dread outsold all of them? Dang, that's crazy. Yeah, that's nuts. That goes to show you how, like, Metroid is this franchise that people absolutely love, right? But none of their games ever ended up selling that well. Mega Man X? I think Mega Man X is obviously...
Darkstalkers. People love it, but just didn't sell well.
I think Mega Man X was obviously a big Super Nintendo game, but nothing on the scale of, like, a Donkey Kong or a Street Fighter 2, right? Mega Man X is obviously a big game, but I don't think it sold that well. I think Mega Man X kind of took a while to become really beloved, like overall. It's like it's the same thing with the old Mega Man games. When you learn that Mega Man 2 is like the best-selling one, and it's the best-selling one by like not that much. Yeah, Zelda maybe, I don't know. Mario Kart was also huge. So here's what's funny. I don't remember Mario Kart being huge on the SNES. I remember it being huge on the N64.
Yep.
That's my baby. My baby. Ripley!
Speedrun strats, chat.
Hi.
Jamaican speedrunner. F-Zero was one of the first games, and I remember F-Zero was looking amazing. And then Contra. I mean, it wasn't a world changer, but I remember seeing that. Dang.
Who's that?
Is that a Semi?
That's Sonic.
See, we've already gone past the fun level.
You can. Chad's all saying already. This level's long.
Marble Zone?
Yeah, this level's long.
Yeah, especially if you're not like cheating or you know exactly what where to like speedrun it. Yeah, it's a waiting level.
It's a waiting level. I was just having the conversation at the time. We're joking about Sonic being better than Mario because Mario's obviously like better overall. But
horse.
Around the Super Nintendo time frame, I'm trying to remember like Genesis was killing it so much in the early 90s. Like was putting Nintendo like under in some ways.
Because of Sonic.
Because of Sonic, because of their choice to make their system cheap, like all this stuff, right?
Well, so what the short and condensed version is Genesis came out in '89.
Yeah, it came out
like
90s.
way before. It came out way before the Super NES. But they couldn't get traction in North America with like Altered Beast.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Other games like that.
Arcade games.
Right. So at the time, the president of Sega at the time went and personally approached Tom Kalinske while he was on vacation in Hawaii, basically like trying to give him an offer he couldn't refuse to become Sega of America's CEO.
Yeah, and it's Sega of America that's responsible for Sega doing well.
Tom Kalinske basically came in and said, here's what you need to do. We need a Mario killer. You need to drop the price of the system. You need to bundle it. He was insistent on dropping the system's price and including Sonic 1. Sega of Japan hated that idea.
Oh, they always do. They hated it when Reggie promoted the Wii as well.
They hated him. And apparently, the president at one point literally threw up his hands in a meeting, walked out and said, fine, just do it. He said, like, I brought you on here to tell me what basically he was like, what do I need to do to beat Nintendo?
Yeah. And
it worked. So from like 91 to 94, so for about 2-3 years, Sega beat Nintendo.
You got me, ow. And I was comparing that to, because Sega was killing it at the time, early 90s, Sega was just straight winning. How long it took for the SNES to pop off? Ow! My foot, honey.
The SNES?
Yeah, and I was like...
Star Fox was kind of getting it there.
I'm like, was it...
It wasn't... What?
Was it Donkey Kong? It wasn't Donkey Kong, because that was like 94 or something like that.
It was... Donkey Kong is what tilted the tide back in Nintendo's favor.
100%. But we found out which game it was.
Star Fox was kind of like the one that was kind of like, okay, it's making Super NES. Like Super NES didn't start off poorly or nothing. You had Mario, you had Zelda, you had.
Of course.
We found the answer. It's not Star Fox because I don't think Star Fox popped off. It was like okay. Even I
It
remember
was very impressive.
it was impressive,
93.
but I don't think it was like a system seller.
I was
Street Fighter 2 was the first big system.
That's the one.
Well, the first big, non-Nintendo game.
Yeah, I mean, but granted, like it was kind of third-party stuff that made SNES pop off so hard.
Because it was exclusive, but Nintendo thought like it's exclusive forever, and then they kind of betrayal on them with Mega Drive Championship.
Patience? I don't have patience.
Oh,
Or do Max do it? Max do it.
We're playing Sonic one more? Oh God!
What a fun level.
Yeah, baby one. There you go. Now you're a big girl. Hey.